Hi everyone. Um, I just wanted to share this video with you commemorating the 5th anniversary of my husband's death, which is coming up on the 23rd of August in a couple of days' time. And I must say it's been quite a ride, quite a journey, and it still continues, of course. Once you are on this journey, that's it really for the rest of your life. That's going to stay with you, right? That loss of your partner is something that is irrevocably, inevitably going to have a massive impact on who you are, your life and your future. So we have to accept this. And there's many myths surrounding grief. One of them is that, over time it becomes less. I think we just learn to live with it better and better as time passes. But as time passes, we also realize, the length of time that we have already been missing them from our lives. And then that in itself can bring up some sadness, which is fine. Just allow yourself to be sad whenever you are sad. And again, I've been not that sad for the last year or so. Every now and again, there's this major shift through your grieving journey, and you realize that you are getting stronger again, and you're less sad, and you're hit by grief less often, but then it comes out again, back out of the blue, hitting you like just before an anniversary. And that's normal. That's absolutely normal. So the last 5 years have been, as I said, quite a ride. I've learned a lot about grief, about how to cope better with grief, the many things that we are not told about grief and how we can cope better with it. And there are ways that I know have not only helped me, but are also helping others, that are not largely shared by bereavement professionals, unfortunately, because they don't, I think, believe in it, that it actually makes a difference. Maybe because they haven't been on this journey themselves and have not tried these things themselves and not aware of the impact that it can actually make in their own lives without grieving the loss of a person. Anyway, that's one thing, major thing that I've learned and that I'm trying to share with as many bereaved people as possible. Because as my daughter said very, very early on, after I lost Kevin, there's one thing, you have a choice. You always have a choice, even in grief. You can decide to, grieve, and that grief determine the rest of your life and who you are and who you become. Or you can make the decision of, turning it into something purposeful or whatever, this purpose may be, the purpose could just be that you're going to look after yourself better than before. I don't know. I'm just trying to share as much as I have learned with anyone who is interested in listening and learning more about how they can look after themselves better, to ride this roller coaster of grief better. Because one thing is for sure, we all have, blood sugar roller coasters when we don't eat regularly. That's a given. That's universal for every person. You know, when you don't eat 3 meals a day, you end up on the blood sugar roller coaster. Your blood sugar drops so low when you don't eat, and then you get these cravings, or you need to eat something quickly, and then you may, grab some unhelpful food, because there are foods that are beneficial for grieving people, and there are foods that are completely unhelpful, and that's another given, and universal for people. Like, that junk food doesn't help is universal. And it goes for anybody, not just for grieving people. So there is a lot of like basic nutritional knowledge that can help us cope better with grief and avoid this double whammy of having to ride a blood sugar roller coaster on top of the emotional ups and downs of grief, which are massive in the first few weeks, months, and even years. And slowly these emotional ups and downs become less pronounced, and the waves calm down, and the tsunami of grief gradually dies down. But grief can still hit you, like 5 years on. I don't know. I'm just going through this phase now that I'm more aware of the sadness. Maybe I'm just like, because I'm not in my own environment. I'm not in my own house looking after my own garden. I'm not distracted so much. Maybe that's when sadness can finally make its appearance again, and you're more aware of what's going on in your body, and most of the time you're not consciously aware of it, or suppress it even, or are too distracted to realize what's going on. I don't know. It's what it is, right? So when you finally or eventually realize or notice the sadness, and just try and sit with it, try and make room for it, don't push it away, because it will crop up in some other way if you do that, which is not very helpful. So and then when this grief wave strikes again, just ride it out as best as you can. It will eventually pass, and you will eventually feel more balanced in yourself. But don't forget this blood sugar roller coaster. So don't forget to look after yourself while you're riding this or going through a spell of sadness. That good food can actually help you to improve your moods, and ride out these emotions better, and stay on top and not go under again, because it's so easy like in a spell like this to just like not look after ourselves, forget about eating. It takes effort. I will be honest, it takes effort to cook, to look after ourselves well, and to even know what would help us, ride out these spells better. But we do have to make an effort if we don't want to be depressed and sad all the time, and we want to make the most of the time we have here on this planet and in this life. That's what we need to do. So, and just know that with every day, with every hour, you are getting stronger, because your body will remember that you've got through a sad spell before. And the sad spells also become shorter and shorter. So don't get me wrong, that this sad spell has not been going on for months or weeks even. It's just, you know, something of the last week or so. So I hope by sharing my feelings around the 5th anniversary of Kevin's death that I can inspire you to just keep the will going, you know, to ride those bad spells, to keep going, to carry on cooking, to do whatever it takes, go out into nature, to do some meditation, to do the deep breathing, anything and everything. You know, all the tiny things will add up and will help you get out of these sad spells a bit quicker than before. So that's for me today. And I wish you all the best. Bye for now.